The kid is whistling an off-key tune as he's...
Ain't up to how. Just looking for Sina, Ben Mesd.
He tilts his head sideways, doubt apparent on his screw...
No lie, missus. Tell him a chap wants to talk. Baron Leere, Black Bull Tavern, first floor.
The kid shoves his hands in it.
Ah, you again. Any luck in old Lady Surrey's tomb? Oh, goodness. Take a few deep breaths and give...
The masked creature grunts 3 times at the sight of you. It reaches its arm out. Clasped in its hand is a crumpled parchment. You take the page, and the servant returns to its hollow existence.
I smell sauce in the air. And something else, too. Something rancid.
I trust that our bargain reaches a satisfactory conclusion. I'm prepared to offer a generous reward, my dear. You're dying to show off those smoldering talents of yours. I can help you with that. I can share my bond with the source with you, fill your well to the brim, make you a master. The rest of the story, well, it's yours to write. You do your part, then I do mine. Well, see that you find me when it is in hand.
Look out! I see a trap nearby. I found something.
The servant emits a menacing growl.
Fasten tight.
The bitter air warms as you near. The graveyard's death chill fades.
Hello? You! Help! I'm down here! A mind of this magnitude shouldn't be cursed to live like this. Can you dig me up? Don't worry. There's nothing funny about...
The skeleton tries to brush the dirt from his clattering bones, then frowns. The moistest bits are still stuck in his cracks and crevices.
Thanks. You're probably looking for a reward, but I haven't got much. Except, you know, the wisdom of the ages.
He pokes a finger against his ossified head.
I'm a bit of a philosopher, you see. Not much else to be, what with all that thinking time. Are you questioning my intellect? You think you say more sooth than me, a verified soothsayer.
The skeleton pauses and sighs, then straightens his spine with a clatter.
A soul bond will settle it. A battle of wits. Then the cosmos itself will decide who can better face the truth of our own essence, me or you. A weak soul may not survive the bond. But I'm sure you'll be just fine. I don't blame you. To brush...
Mourn not for Crispin, a simpleton's idea of a clever man, and a poor man's idea of a rich one. Here rests Timus Anchoret. Ever may he look out upon the woods he loved so dearly.
An ancestor tree. Pure grace in an undeserving world. The spirit of the tree may have much to say.
The roots of a great ancestor tree reach from deep underground to the surface above and beyond. But this tree feels tainted. You are a scion of the elves. The mother tree demands your blood. You do not have a choice. She has a plan, and you must serve her with your death. You heed your mother's wishes and take root. But then you hear a voice, a friendly whisper from beyond. The voice knows you, he understands you, he loves you. He offers you your freedom and asks but one small service grateful, you accept. In an instant, you are an elf once more, walking in the world. But your new friend begins to make demands. Small services, then larger and more often. They cause you pain. At last, he bids you guard your tree. He expects you shall have guests. You shall kill the Godwoken when they come. Then you shall be free. The thought occurs. The sign replaced one bad deal with another.
No such thing as luck, only self-earned success. Or as in this case, self-earned failure.
Everyone's in charge of their own fate. Sounds to me like this incent has down the drain.
Desperation leads to stupidity, among the stupid anyway.
Here lies Phylan Surrey, whose family's generous patronage helped build these burial grounds, and who refused to be buried.
Oh, it's shut tight.
The chest before you is wreathed in flame, but doesn't seem to be actually burned. You lean in to examine the images further, but are driven back by the intense heat. The chest before you is wreathed in flame, but doesn't seem to be actually burning. The flames dance above. You lean in to examine the images further, but are driven back by the intense heat of the flames.
Yes.
Something isn't right here. It could be an ambush.
Found you. Curtain drops. No shadow can eclipse the spouse of the sun.
I sense something nearby.
Show yourself! I sense something nearby.
I'm fading.
I've spotted something.
The skeleton is old enough for flies to have eaten its flesh, though some of its owner's clothing still remains intact. The bones look properly intact, though its skull is askew, as if the skeleton is looking in a direction it shouldn't be able to. The belt may have been gnawed by rodents and reptiles, but the name engraved on its buckle is unmistakable: Victor. You see no blood or signs of struggle. The surrounding vegetation is green and healthy.
Oh, here's one corpse that never got a proper burial.
The shaggy dog keeps his distance, wary eyes sizing you up as his hackles rise.
You run away. Everyone here run away. All run from something. I knew. All runaways round here. I ran away from bad man. Very bad man. Man wanted to make me spider food. I know. I can sniff good and bad. Right or bad.
He paws a few tentative steps closer and sniffs all around you, nose wrinkling with concentration.
Smell of runaway inside you. Maybe the runaway not good, but you good.
He bounds forwards and licks your face effusively. His breath stinks of graveyard clay and ancient bones. Immediately, you feel an allergic reaction. The dog scurries away to sniff about the area.
Looks like this place has seen better days. Much better days.
Gareth toils in monotony. Gareth freezes, then turns slowly towards you. His breaths are steady, his voice a monotone.
I'm digging my murdered parents' graves. I'd ask that you show your...
Gareth moves to continue his task, but his cadence...
No, of course you didn't. Godwoken, I've seen Seeker's blood seeping into the sand. I waded through corpses on the deck of the Lady Vengeance. But when the lifeless eyes looking back at you are your own mother's, I just didn't know. I didn't know what darkness lied beyond pain. Now, well... Now I did.
Gareth shies away from you. His eyes pass over the half-filled graves, and he takes a shuddering breath.
Comfort! Even Lucian has none to spare. I've prayed to him, an endless litany. How many tears do I have to shed? No comfort, only recompense. Against Dallas's cronies, against the abomination that carry out their commands. The monks do the dirty work, and the whites keep their robes clean. The monks that did it, they're still in the house, spreading their rancid smell. Paladins...
Gareth forcefully exhales and looks past you to the nearby house. You feel...
If you'd asked me yesterday, I'd have said they were the only ones left in the Divine Order worth their weight in salt. I have honored their devotion to our lost. Today, though, I don't know. The Paladins once fought the Black Ring at Lucian's command. The most courageous thing they could do now is turn their backs on the Order. I'm not holding my breath. I've got no use for empty platitudes.
You swear you hear Gareth's pulse, galloping faster than a saddled mount.
If you want to help, then you find the craven wight that ordered their slaughter. Anyone! You know nothing.
His hand moves from his shovel to his...
Do it! Or don't!
That thing isn't Donna. It isn't anybody. It's a monster, pure and simple. All of them are.
The two paladins Gareth mentioned are arguing in front of the door to the modest farmstead. As they notice your arrival, they stop talking and look at you quizzically.
We're guarding it. And believe me, you don't want to go in there. There's a bunch of silent monks inside who've tasted blood today. Already killed in there, so they did. I don't think. Stay out of our business. Back off.
Not much of a landlubber, but sometimes I get no choice in the matter.
Back off.
A mix of sweat and blood smears a...
This Magister didn't die by a sword anyway. Something's afoot here.